12 Steps, Part 1 of 4, The Body at the Bottom. There are 12 steps leading down to the basement of the Harlow Hotel. Detective Mara Voss had counted them twice before she allowed herself to look at what waited at the bottom. A man, face down, arms at his sides, almost too neat, too arranged to be accidental. "We got the call at 2:47 a.m., said Officer Trent, reading from his notepad behind her. Housekeeper found him during her overnight rounds. Door was locked from the inside. Locked from the inside, Mara repeated, not as a question. Yes, ma'am. Had to break the door open. She descended the stairs slowly, one step at a time. The air thickened as she went lower, damp, cold, and carrying something else beneath it. Something metallic. At the bottom, she crouched beside the body. The man was well dressed. Dark suit, polished shoes, silver cufflinks, catching the pale light of the single bulb overhead. His right hand was coiled loosely around a hotel keycard. Room 304? Do we know who he is? She asked. According to the front desk, the room is registered to a Daniel Ashworth, 48 years old, CEO of a tech firm out of London. Checked in 2 days ago. Cause of death. Medical examiner is upstairs. Won't commit until she runs the full autopsy. But she said, off the record, no visible wounds. Mara stood slowly. She looked back up at the 12 steps she'd descended. The door at the top was still splintered from the break-in. No wounds, she said quietly. Locked room, and a keycard that belongs to a room 3 floors up. She turned back to the body. This isn't a death, Trent. This is a message. By morning, she had the full picture, or what looked like one. Daniel Ashworth had arrived at the Harlow Hotel on a Thursday. He had taken his meals alone, declined housekeeping each day, and made no calls from the hotel landline. The front desk described him as polite but distant. His laptop had been left open on the desk in room 304. On the screen, a single sentence in a blank document. They know what I found. Who is they? Mara muttered to herself, standing in the middle of the room. We pulled his phone records, said Detective Quinn, her partner, leaning against the doorframe. Wiped clean. Physically, the SIM was removed and the memory was formatted. Whoever did this was thorough. Or whoever he was afraid of was thorough. Quinn crossed his arms. You think he did it himself? Wiped his own phone. I think he was scared, she said, and I think he was right to be. She moved to the window. The city spread out below, gray and indifferent in the early morning light. Somewhere out there, someone had sent Daniel Ashworth to the basement of this hotel. Someone had arranged him neatly at the bottom of 12 steps and locked the door on the way out. But the door was locked from the inside. She pressed her fingers to the glass. How? The medical examiner's report arrived at noon. Cause of death. Cardiac arrest. No drugs detected. No trauma. No signs of struggle. A healthy 40-odd-year-old man had walked down 12 steps, or been carried, and his heart had simply stopped. Hearts don't just stop, Mara said. The medical examiner, Dr. Chen, looked up from her report. No, they don't. Then what are we missing? Dr. Chen set down her pen. She had the manner of someone choosing her words very carefully. I found something, she said, in his bloodstream. A compound I've only seen once before, in a case I wasn't allowed to discuss. Mara went very still. What kind of compound? Something that mimics natural cardiac failure. Leaves almost no trace. You'd need to know exactly what you were looking for to find it. And you knew what to look for. Dr. Chen nodded slowly. Because you've seen it before, Mara said, in a case you weren't allowed to discuss. The silence between them was long and deliberate. Who else knows about this report? Mara asked. Right now, just you. Mara picked up the report and folded it carefully. Keep it that way. She went back to the Harlow Hotel that evening. Back to the basement. Back to the 12 steps. She sat on the 3rd step from the bottom and opened her notebook. What she had. A dead man with no enemies on record. A compound that didn't exist. In a case that couldn't be discussed. A room locked from the inside. A keycard found in a dead man's hand, belonging to his own room. A sentence on a screen. They know what I found. What she didn't have. A suspect? A motive? Any idea what Daniel Ashworth had found? She stared at the empty space at the bottom of the stairs. The chalk outline was still there, faint on the concrete. Then something shifted in her mind. Quietly, like a key turning in a lock. She looked at the stairs again. 12 steps. She counted them again, from where she sat. 1, 2, 3. She stopped at 8. The chalk outline was at the bottom, but the body was only 8 steps down when he died. She stood up quickly. Someone had moved the body after death, arranged it, positioned it, and then somehow locked the door from the inside on the way out. Her phone buzzed. An unknown number. One message. Stop counting, detective. End of part 1. Part 2 coming next week.